What is up, everyone? It is your 7th favorite DM on the internet, back here to tell you that I started editing this video only to realize that my intro audio sounded terrible. So I'm back here about 6 hours later to tell you that it's that time of year again. No, not time for seasonal depression. Okay, well maybe that, but it's holiday shopping. I was gonna say holiday shopping, which means that if you're anything like me, you're probably Googling listicles and zoom-ins on your favorite DM's setups and your favorite players' dice bags to figure out what to get for your friends and family, or answer the dreaded question, hey, what do you want for this holiday? I hate that question. So I've come up with a nifty little guide showing you plenty of the things that you guys ask about week after week behind our screens and off this little DM's table back here. That being said, welcome to the 2025 DM's Guide to Gifting. Let's hop right in. Okay, so first things first, let me pull up a list here so that we don't get derailed. There are a lot of ways you can go about gifting, no matter what your budget is, anything from homemade to completely bespoke, and I run the entire range when I gift to my friends and family. So I thought maybe we'd start with the homemade or home finished dice. Dice are kind of an obvious gift for the ttrpg player, and there's so many that we like, but if your budget's maybe a little thinner, or you simply like crafting something and really making something special for that person, you can go fully homemade. There are plenty of molds and resin kits and how-tos on the internet, but my favorite way to go is somebody that does not have a whole lot of time between my full-time day job and my full-time YouTube job, is getting Kraken Raw sets. Now, I've gotten a few of these over the years. You've probably seen them a lot on Morgue Rogue's station while we game over here on A History of the Forgotten Realms. But I've also gotten myself some sets over the years, and you can get them in anything from small sets, which are so pretty, to the Big Chungus. Now, I love my Big Chungus ones. They're a little bit easier to sand for beginners. They're easier to paint. Oh, come on, focus up. Hey, there we go. It does work. I always wondered why people do that. Where's the Kraken? Every single Kraken die has this big Kraken on it, and the big ones are just easier to paint. I quite like these, and they're all really affordable, especially with Black Friday coming up. I think last year I ended up getting 12 sets for under $100 with a bunch of freebies. My fingers were, I am not even kidding, raw by the time I was done, because I was doing hair and helping put shows on and running this channel and polishing dice whenever I could on any break that I had. But if you want something that's pseudo-custom without having to wait for resin to dry or buying a vacuum pot, I think that's the way to go. Now, next we have things that are more like the opposite end of the spectrum, boutique and bespoke goods. Obviously, we have companies like Wormwood, who made my wonderful and amazing dice vault. This isn't a model that they still have, but they have all of the pieces necessary. This one was gifted to me by Morgue Rogue. I got it custom engraved, and it came with a beautiful matching tray and leather strap. Things like this that you can really get super personalized, that have a lot of meaning, that somebody's gonna carry with them forever. Another custom thing that we have inside my dice vault, if you're somebody who really just... Okay, listen, I'm not a fan of the Christmas proposal, but I know that some of you are going to do it, and I know that some of you are nerds. That being said, engagement dice should really be more of a thing than they are. And my favorite splurge dice sets all come from Dispel. I have one full set and a single D20, and they are so stinking beautiful. But they don't just make like beautiful dice, they also have goofy ones like their sushi dice or all kinds of other themes, and they've been doing that for a long time. Yeah, I love these. I think that these are great. Now, Nana, I'm hearing you saying you're going through all of these different things. Why didn't you talk about this on the podcast? Well, unfortunately, this is about as long as a podcast episode. It's okay, you can watch me on 2x speed, I won't be offended, and I'm gonna put everything down in the description, and I'm gonna see if I can get the YouTube shopping feature to work so I can link things as well. I didn't want to take up a whole podcast episode with this, but I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we get to do some gift stuff. Third on the boutique and bespoke goods list is going to be Dragon in the Woodshed. They're an independent seller on Etsy that makes all kinds of wonderful little trinkets. Let me pull some up here for you to put in this side of my screen, shall we? Dragon in the Woodshed makes these adorable little 3D printed towers, but also these incredible mimics. Are you kidding me? You can use them as dice storage, you can use them to hide other gifts in, gift cards, whatever you like. I think these are so precious, and I cannot in my wildest imagine how they began to figure out how to make something like that. So go check them out. I adore them. Next we have gifted memberships. These are going to be things that are like, maybe you can gift somebody a month or 3 months or a year to their favorite platform, their favorite Patreon, whatever it may be. And some of the ones that we like around here are obviously gifting Dimension 20 memberships, Beacon memberships, gifting someone a sub to a Twitch channel, or a certain amount of months to a Patreon, making a Kickstarter contribution in their name, or even getting them a subscription to Roll20 if you are a virtual tabletop user. Now, if you're struggling to find Patreons to patron, we, like the good little warlocks we are, will of course recommend that our patrons are the best and obviously the most powerful. But here are some creators that we love as well. There is Greg from How to Drink, who always makes incredible themed drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and genuinely just such a mad scientist, and we love watching him work. Secondly is going to be Christine McConnell. Christine makes spooky crafts and recipes, and she is restoring this incredible, almost 2-century-old, I don't even know what to call it. I believe it's an Italianate New York mansion. She has a YouTube, but her Patreon gives you access to like the same things that ours does with like additional videos and perks. She even sends out a gift and a card once a year to her patrons of a certain level. She's very cool. Though we would be remiss talking about Patreons if we didn't mention our good friends Isander and Coda. It's no secret that we love Warhammer 40k and that we are a sucker for good jokes. Isander and Coda is Warhammer like I'm 5. If you don't know anything about Warhammer, or you know too much about Warhammer and you want an interesting perspective, go watch Isander and Coda. They also do occasional video game videos. They talk about other systems and are huge D&D nerds themselves. Along with that, Father of the Realms, Ed Greenwood, has the Ed Greenwood Patreon. I'm a member over there. I'm in the Discord all the time. I love getting to scroll through the answers from Ed's section and see insight that I never thought that I wanted or needed from the Forgotten Realms. There's new videos all the time, and my favorite series, him playing through Baldur's Gate 3. Absolutely wonderful. What else do we have for you guys? Oh, dice, towers, and trays. Now, dice, towers, and trays. There's a lot of places that you can get any of these, and you can also make them. So this is by no means an exhaustive list, but let's go down it anyway. There's always Amazon. I understand that if you have the means to boycott them, absolutely. Vote with your wallet. But if they're an unavoidable reality for you, there is no shame in going to Amazon to get an affordable gift for somebody just to express they mean a lot to you. Now, if you have a little bit more time, a little bit more money on your hands, Etsy is a great place to find custom dice towers that have been way to go with their collapsible dice towers. I thought these were deck boxes the first time I saw them. Truly cool little bit of kit. I believe they even still have the 50th anniversary D&D ones in stock. Independent gaming stores. Now, down here in Los Angeles, we have a lot of independent gaming stores, but they are harder to get to. As a Los Angelino, traffic is a nightmare, and I know it's not always possible, but if you live in a smaller area and you know your local game stores, then I would 100% recommend going to them, asking for their recommendations on dice, on rolling trays, on towers, on all of the things you could possibly furnish your friends with. Get them from an independent retailer when you can. 3D printers, Thingiverse. Hop on over to Thingiverse, hop on over to Makerly, and find yourself a dice tower. Contribute a couple of bucks to somebody who is selling their print or taking donations for their print as a download. Do it yourself. Your friends and your loved ones don't care if it's not super polished. They love that you made them something. So even if your sprues are not completely cleaned off, even if you didn't go through and sand and Bondo and paint it, they are going to love it no matter what because it came from you. Now here's my favorite part. You can make one out of wood. It's not too terribly difficult. Obviously, be safe when you do this. Take all the necessary precautions. But one of my favorite dice towers was designed by Vincent, Morgue Rogue, one of my players. They made this incredible little book to house all of their D&D stuff, and within it, if I can get it all out of here, oh my god, it's so neatly packed. Let me just show you. So this dice tower, simple lumber from Home Depot, little bit of a sample cup of stain, extra model paint we had laying around. You don't even have to finish this. This would be beautiful in just a standard little cut of wood. Some Titebond 3, a Japanese saw, and safety. So much safety. And eye protection. Dear God, eye protection. But this is adorable. And it hooks right onto the side of this incredible creation that they made. Let me lift this up so that you can see it. This, there we go. This is their D&D book. They designed this themselves, and honestly, it's so cool. They have their spell slots on the inside of the cover here that are tracked by magnets. They have this little leather strip to hold all of their dice. It makes the most satisfying sound. Let me find some dice here, as if I don't have any. Ready? Ready? Is that not the most freaking satisfying thing ever? All of this, I want to say that he spent less than 50 bucks putting this together. It took them about 3 days. They made a phone holder to go with it out of a couple pieces of wood. There is a tablet holder, and they keep all kinds of different things in there, including another homemade thing that I will show you in a little bit. Now, your other option for dice towers and trays, if you really don't feel like you have the safety to work with wood, if you don't have the budget to go to a store and get something, some of my favorite bits of kit were made by friends who just wanted to make something and give it to me. Find some extra cardboard, find some foam core, wrap it in whatever gift wrapping paper you have, put it together with a little bit of Elmer's glue, and make one. Some of the best models that I have seen are foam core scale models of somebody's house, and they are delightfully iterative. And I think that anyone that gets that would really love that. Now let's talk about some of my favorite dice vendors while I put this book back together. Obviously, Dispel Dice, Kraken Dice, the underrated Wiz Dice. Wiz Dice has been around for frickin' ever, and they make these wonderful little bags that come with different sets of dice in them. They are super satisfying to just drop in your friend's lap or toss in a stocking for Christmas. They also make cups that come loaded with dice as well, and I love these for rolling too. And it's kind of self-contained. They have all kinds of cool stuff. And, you know, if you feel like you want something maybe a little oversized, they also have... Is that right? Yeah, there we go. We got this, we got this, we got this. Yeah, the big dice from Wiz Dice. I'll put a link to these as well. Everything that I'm showing you, I'll put a link to so that you guys can find it. Wiz Dice are like my favorite affordable dice to go to, and they have such cute patterns. They've got everything from like classic swirled, marbly, red and black, edgy, to my current favorite, which is, this is just my box of whimsy. We've got this, we've got this, we've got this. This is just my box of whimsy. These are all of the sets of dice that I'm just vibing with right now. And all of them are Wiz Dice. Every single one of them. Critical Role. Critical Role makes their own dice in the Crit Roll shop. They are themed to different characters from all of their various campaigns, and if you have a Critical Role fan in your life, that's obviously super, super special. Now, there's a few sets of them that are really expensive and really beautiful that I cannot justify getting for myself. But oh my god, if you get them for yourself, please take pictures and drop them in the Discord. I want to see what you guys are getting each other for Christmas. It makes me so happy. Notable favorites are also Hedron Rockworks. These are the most boutique dice. Hedron Rockworks takes whatever stone you want. Morgrogue actually reached out to them about potentially working with Fordite, which is a technical stone made from layers of paint that have compressed over the years on the floor of the Ford Automotive Factory, because I'm a Ford pony car kind of guy. There's also K Hopper dice that makes, right this way, yeah, makes these incredible mossy dice. There is something that just is so deeply satisfying on a Witch of the Woods level about these dice. Now, they do all have limited drops. I rarely see designs come back, but when she drops dice, they are so beautiful. Another honorable mention here coming out of the book, oh, those magnets are satisfying, is going to be Norse Foundry and their metal dice. Oh, look at the little Morgrogues. Those are so cute. It's gonna be Norse Foundry. They make these really satisfying heavy metal dice of different varieties. And they're great for anyone who wants more of a tactile feel, or if you just have a dice goblin or a dice dragon in your life. I believe they also still sell stone dice as well, which is super satisfying. I'm gonna put this back together. I'll get back to you in a minute. We're just gonna fast forward. Okay, we're back. Dice bags, let's talk about it. This was the other thing I wanted to show you. When I was my most broke, I was working as a warehouse manager and an operations manager for a fire-resistant clothing company. We were lucky enough to have a bunch of scrap to work with and a wonderful embroidery person to help me, and they didn't mind if I used anything that could not be usable for any other projects. That is to say, if you have fabric, you have thread, you can teach yourself how to sew. I made everyone dragon-proof dice bags out of fire-resistant cloth. This one is more of a mat now. You'll see those slits all the way around. Those used to hold a fireproof cord as well, and each person in the party did have their nicknames embroidered on here. And it's a great way to kind of give somebody something that you spent time on, that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's always going to be special. Dice bags are never not useful. And I think that they're one of the better gifts that you can give for the D&D holidays. Card King Pro. Card King Pro makes a super cool bag if you don't have the budget or you're not a Critical Role fan for a Bailey's dice bag of hoarding. Card King Pro makes a great little separated satchel for all of your dice. It's super duper affordable. You can get it on their website or on Amazon, and it comes in a ton of different colors. But if you do like Critical Role or just like good products, you can always go with the dice bag of hoarding. Now, Morg Rogue doesn't know this yet, but there is one in the mail on its way here for the holidays. Because it's not Christmas without a dice bag and some dice, I got them the red one. I like this one a little bit better because they can put their Dispel dice in there, they can put their metal dice in there, and it's going to be protected. It has thick dividers and a padded bottom, and I can't wait to see the surprise on their face when they open it. Now, of course, if you're like, hey, I don't really need division in my dice bag, I kind of just like to hoard them. Etsy is always a great option for cute little dice bags, or if you need humongous big ones. Again, WizDice sells these with dice in them in like 5 different variations now, and you can just fill them all the way up. I don't know how to describe. This is a solid 6 inches by 5 inches by 3 inches. This is a metric crap ton of dice that come with their own bag, and it's honestly, I've used it as a gift for a lot of people for a lot of years. Hi, Stu. Stu has the Halfling's Haversack, which is a bunch of mini dice. I will ask him to show them off on screen sometime. Next, we have D&D Jewelry. This is a little few and far between, but there are 3 brands that always catch my eye when they came out with D&D collaborations, and that's Rock Love, who some of you may know just did the rings for the wedding of Ford and Jester. But they also collaborate with all of your favorite franchises like League of Legends, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Disney Princesses, Nightmare Before Christmas, Villains. They do incredible work. Some of my favorite pieces are from the Magic the Gathering sets, but I wanted to show you their Dungeons and Dragons sets here. I have never been fortunate enough to have the budget to just buy myself these. As I'm sure you can tell, I don't really change my jewelry a whole lot, but they are so beautiful, and I am so tempted by that DM screen one. Next is going to be Han Cholo. They are a custom jewelry maker, and they did a very, very cool D&D line, which I am super jealous to have not had the funds for, because look at this. I love it so much. The dice ring, the D20 ring, is still in stock, and man, oh man, talk about improvised weapon. The third one is Tina DIY Charms on Etsy. Tina DIY Charms. Let me pull her stuff up here. She's a little buried in the folder. There's so much in here. Tina DIY Charms makes these adorable little D20 dice that you can customize with an initial and a birthstone or a stone that's significant. If you want a stone that's nerdy and significant to D&D, garnet is the jewel of choice. It is stated to be ruby, but it is actually garnet is the jewel of choice for magical items and jewelry that has the power of fire, including Brunner Battlehammer's helmet and Caddy Bree's wedding band. She also makes these incredible what one hand gives, the other hand takes away coins, which make me so happy as a dungeon master. You can use it as a D2, or if you're like me, I just collect coins. Boy, oh boy, nobody could tell that I love to collect coins. Gee, Nana, how would I have ever known that you love to collect coins? I'll find it later. The cat will find it before me. On the subject of coins, though, because I consider a lot of coins to be jewelry. Guys, if you like Quincy's Tavern as much as we do, occasionally he puts out these beautiful little Lucky Griffin coins. And if you have someone in your life that loves food and loves D&D and loves whimsy, I highly recommend getting them a Be Safe Out There coin. It's just really special. It doesn't cost very much. I got one from Morgue Rogue, as well as some maps of the Lucky Griffin that I aged and framed for their D&D area, and it just makes me really happy. I'm gonna cough. Hang on. The other two things that I love from Tina DIY Charms aren't jewelry at all. One holds your dice and your mini, and makes me very happy. You can get it engraved with many different things. I personally am considering getting it to put the tiny me in with my favorite dice, just as like a constant reminder that I am so privileged to have this position. The other one is very, very special to any nerds in love. If you are a D&D couple that is getting married or is married and likes to store your rings together, she makes this adorable little ring and wedding die box, because if you don't have a wedding day D20, are you really a tabletop player? Are you really a TTRPG fan? I'm kidding. If you don't have a custom wedding die, you should go get one. Why not? Pick one together. It's awesome, but also nobody's judging you. It's just a very, very pretty box. Next, we're looking at custom minis. Now, you guys know that when we use minis or tokens or character portraits or things like that, if they're not hand-drawn by me, ours come from Hero Forge. Now, I pulled these out. Let me put them on a box here so that I can lift them all up together. I've gotten a lot of Hero Forge minis over the years, but these three are my most special. This is me at 3 different points in my life in 3 different qualities of Hero Forge mini. Let me see if I can get them to focus up just a little bit better. Come on. Come on, friends. Focus. Focus. There we go. This is me at 3 different stages in my life in 3 different qualities of Hero Forge mini, and all of them are wonderful. This was me at 20, 25, and 30 in Hero Forge minis. Now, I didn't paint these. These came printed this way. Hero Forge does full color printing, and it is so beautiful. Even down to, with these two, I could choose what was in my mug. Earl Grey Lavender Matcha. Obviously, we're fans of Hero Forge around here. I like that you can label the bottom, and I love the amount of customization that you can do. You can even get dice with your mini inside of them now, which is the coolest, and I need to go do. Secondly, you can home design and print your own minis. There are a ton of different 3D modeling programs that will help you make a person, or you can go on Hero Forge and even make your own model, export it as an STL, and pop it right into your 3D printer at home, whether that's a filament or a resin printer, and you'll have something super awesome. I also particularly recommend this if you're more of an artist type, and you can print them for your friends, and then paint them out and gift them to them. Like I will be doing for all of our players for Christmas. I need to order their minis this weekend so that I can paint them and gift them to them, along with possibly some Christmas boons like I did last year. If you're watching this, I didn't tell you that. Shh, you saw nothing. Third is going to be Eldritch Foundry. If you're not a fan of Hero Forge for any reason, Eldritch Foundry is another wonderfully customizable site that allows you to make adventurers of all different varieties and get them printed or download them. It's just another option. So many different places do the same thing. And if there's any that I'm forgetting, obviously drop it down in the comments. I love hearing about all of the different ways that we can open up that accessibility for people to get minis. If you want minis that are not necessarily custom, if you just know somebody that needs minis, I really like the Crack and Dice ones. They have beautiful detail and they're super fun, and they even come in packs. Or you can get, which is one of my favorites, skinny minis, which are like acrylic standee minis. You can get them for terrain, for people, for creatures, and they are awesome. Next up, books for all of their notes and character info. Listen, you know me, I love a good notebook. I love a good notebook. But if you're ADHD, if your ADHD person has an iPad, Hero Book might be the call for you. I have the printed version of Hero Book. I have bound it, and I am just waiting on the right cover material to finish it and cover it and put that inside cover on and make it beautiful. But in the meantime, I like using my Hero Book on my iPad, because even if you are not so good with using a physical notebook, it's a lot less, I don't know, it feels less intimidating to start a new notebook when you know you can make 50 different copies of it. I have the Hero Book and the Hero Book GM. I love how detailed they are. I love that they come with tips and tricks, and that because I use it digitally, it is infinitely reusable. Next, you can home make them a book. I have so many notebooks in this house that are homemade. Learning how to bind a book can be really affordable and really easy. If you have cardboard, construction paper, a ream of paper, Elmer's glue, and a needle and thread, you can make a book. The very first book I ever made was, 150 pages in the span of a night, and I spent $20 or less on it. I was up all night, but I did make it in a night. Book binding is deceptively easy, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're somebody who keeps a lot of scrap fabric around, if you're somebody who knows how to tool leather, if you cosplay and you know how to work with Warbler even, you can make insanely cool spell book covers for these beautiful hand-bound books that your friends are going to cherish forever. And I do actually mean cherish. Many of the books I have gifted have never been written in, because people who get them are like, it's so high pressure, I don't know what to put in here. I feel like I don't want to waste it. So I just keep making them more, and eventually they're going to have to use them. Next is going to be RNW. RNW makes all kinds of D&D resources that I like using in adorable little designs. I love their retro kit personally, but they also make a character book, which I've provided for all the characters at our table should they want to use it to help keep track of their story, their stats, their notes, their equipment, all kinds of things as they travel down the Faerunian timeline, making trouble for themselves and everyone else. Sorry for all the jump cuts. As you guys probably saw last week, I am still a little bit under the weather, so I keep coughing, and I don't want to expose you guys to that. Nobody needs to hear that. Last on our books and character info section is going to be Minva Tabletop on Etsy. If you don't like physical notebooks and you don't have an iPad, one of my favorite things that they have is actually a Notion bundle. Notion is a free platform to start using. Her bundles go for a fairly reasonable price. All of them, I believe, are under $20. You can get a ttrpg campaign planner. You can get the character compendium. You can get a DM's bundle, all for keeping track of your Dungeons and Dragons and your character notes and your ttrpg notes and settings and builds, even from your phone. I like using it on a desktop. You can use it on an iPad. You can use it on your phone. You can use it on an Android tablet. The possibilities are endless, and I feel like they deserve a shout out for this one. But if you like good old-fashioned paperback, they also have a physical copy. It's spiral bound too, which means I love it because it's left-hand friendly. Next, we have our D&D themed home and body products. Now, this is one of my favorite categories for obvious reasons. And these are some of my favorites. This is one that I purchased for myself. I initially got one for Morgue Rogue and decided it's too cute, I have to have one of my own. And then I ended up with 3 or 4 pieces from this creator. This is Kodo Prints, otherwise known as Art by Kodo. They made my incredible Beholder, hang on. My incredible Beholder Blade Runner sushi sign looking poster back here, as well as the one in Morgue Rogue's office. And you'll see actually probably in this first live stream on Thanksgiving Day, they made a beautiful Princess Mononoke print that lives in our kitchen, as well as the beholder that protects my phone during games and videos. He is always with me, and he is just my favorite little guy. I love him so much. Next is Vincent. If you're watching this, you have about 10 seconds before I continue. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, are they gone? Great. Next is Ashbourne Candle Company. Now, Megan, our ranger, turned me on to these candles. I had seen them and had not gotten them before, but when she raved about her Wizard of Waterdeep candle, I knew I had to go order some of my own, so now Vincent, Morgue Rogue, is getting some for Christmas. Yes, they're gone. Okay. These are incredible and they smell so good. Ashbourne Candle Companies is local to Southern California. They're based in Anaheim and they smell so good. And their artwork is my favorite. Obviously, we had to get them their best girl, Carlac. She smells like smoke, spice, and vanilla. And I just want to live in here. It's so good. The other obvious choice for them, listen, I considered getting them Lae'zel, but they don't need more candles just yet. I'm probably going to get them Lae'zel if we're being honest, because I also want to get the Dungeon Master. They have so many good smelling candles that I really need to get that I haven't tried yet. The other one that I got for them, because they're a spooky kid, but also because of all of the Drizzt, is Drow. This artwork is so beautiful. I think when these candles are gone, we have a couple that I need to clean the jars out of already. I think I'm going to clean them out fully and turn them into jars for their makeup brushes or even the pens at their desk. Drow smells like charcoal, clove, violet, and saffron. And I don't even I don't know how to describe it. It's like a far off memory and also something completely new. And yeah, if Drow smell like this, I just bottle it. I want to smell like this every day. It is so good. That is Ashbourne Candle Company, and we adore them. Next is going to be another one of my favorites. Let me see what bag they're in, and that is Geeky Clean. Geeky Clean makes these amazing D&D bath bombs. There they are. They make these amazing D&D bath bombs that smell so good. And they are chungus. I'm not even kidding. The bath bombs are larger than my chonky D20. I keep them in this, if IKEA still has it, big ol' Alice in Wonderland looking jar when I use them. And it is my favorite monthly ritual is to pick a bath bomb and see what kind of dice I am going to get. This bag specifically holds all of my Vox Bathina dice from Geeky Clean. And I did not wash them off with soap and water because I'm weird and I love that this still smells like bath bombs. It's like, it's a hug. It's a hug in a bag. Oh my God. But they don't just have Vox Bathina. They have all of their own scents as well. They have shower steamers. They have little bath fizzies. They have body soap. They have other bath bomb collections. Am I missing anything? They are so delicious. No, I'm not missing anything. They make incredible stuff and they make your bath or your shower smell so good. Also, as the licensed cosmetologist in the room, if you don't have a bathtub, don't worry. You can take these bath bombs and crunch them down and use them to make your shower smell wonderful. Back before I had a bathtub, I would put a big Raising Cane's cup of water at the bottom of my shower and fill it with hot water before and toss bits of bath bomb in it because it would clear my sinuses and just make it smell so good. And I would take a spa day wherever I can find it. It is absolutely wonderful. Last on the D&D themed home and body products list is Cantrip Candles, another Los Angeles local candle maker with incredible scents and super cool gifts, including big ol' candles that have a Norse Foundry D20 inside, little candle samplers. They have these beautiful patrons and deities candles, as well as this adorable cantrip potion candle set. Just gotta put it right in front of my face. I personally am a big fan of this though. Try to tell me that I don't need that. Try to tell me that I don't need this. Is this not the most incredible little wax melter you've ever seen? She might be a necessity. She might be a necessity, especially considering the fact that these are their wax melt selections. And this is just a few that I really liked. There's Library Scriptorum, as if I needed any more excuses to feel like I live inside the Blackstaff Tower, or the Archives at Candlekeep. There is the Adventurer's Emporium, which I can only assume smells like Sorceress Sundries, and Stone Moss Chapel, to just really, really cement my obsession with the Circle of the Spores Druids and bring Ilara into my real life and out of the keep even more than we already have. The other one I love is that I don't have to commit to wax melts or candles or anything like that if I don't want to have something burning in my house or melting. They also have ambient sprays in a lot of these scents. And there is one that I am just, I think I'm obliged to get it. I think I have to. Obliged? Obligated. One of those. Long day. And that is Sanctuary. Sanctuary is such a unique sounding smell that I think I have to have it. Let me see here. Ginger, incense, and saffron. Come on. It's just gonna smell like all the best parts of the Ren Fair, and I am so excited. I think I need it. Cantrip candles. I think I need it. The last section that we have is something playable made just for them. If you want to spend time pouring yourself into something, if you want to make something super unique and very special, or maybe you just don't have the budget for material goods, you can always make something for your friends, your players, or your DMs to use. Whether it's a one-shot, a class, a subclass, or a special magic item or weapon, or even crafting a character, maybe an NPC for your DM to use that you think will really mean a lot to them. Sitting down, taking the time to design something that is just for them is one of the most special gestures in the world. I think that anyone would feel extremely grateful to have that time and that care spent on them. Now, I can't end this on a heavy note, so we're gonna move on to the bonus section, which is some of the weird crap that I've amassed over the years that don't really fit into a category. Official D&D licensed releases that don't necessarily have to do with the gamings, but don't not have to do with the gamings. The D&D Tarot deck. Dudes, the D&D Tarot deck is beautiful. I love this thing. We collect tarot decks in this house, and I think one of the things that stood out to me the most about this, let me see if it'll show up on camera, is the texture of these cards. Do you see it? It is so tactile. It almost has a fabric feel to it, and it is just so good. Other randomly licensed D&D things. Morgrove got me these last year, and you can still find them in various places of the internet, but there are anniversary sets of D&D dice that come with an updated version of the classic set. These are super cute, and I love the hollow glitter. Yes, Christine, Hollow Taco, I did verify it is a true hollow. But it also comes with one of my favorite things that I have ever been given, which is the classic set of D&D dice, and it comes with a Sharpie and a crayon, so you can fill in the numbers. I used a lighter to melt my wax down into them so I could get it packed in there a little bit more. But as somebody who was born after the age of being able to get the original coveted red box, this was so special to get to do this as a DM, as a D&D player, as somebody that's been doing this my whole life. That was amazing. You can also get coins of the realms. Listen, I told you I have a thing for coins. You can get coins of the realms, and they are so cool and so beautiful. Like, I have a couple of these that I've just put on necklaces because they're just like this beautiful little bit of obtainium, and I'm obsessed. Like, you don't want to have an electrum on a necklace. You don't want to drill a hole in a gold piece and put it on jewelry. Like, come on. She's beautiful. The other random bits of obtainium that I have gotten over the years are probably a little overdone to some people, but I'm a big fan of Funko Pops. I'm a big fan of themed candy. I'm a big fan of Magic the Gathering cards and Pokemon and plushies. I also love one of my prized possessions, my little goblin from Joe Cat's channel. Find your friends something that is truly them, and I don't think that you can go wrong. Because at the end of the day, the DM's guide to gifting is really just think about what you're gifting before you give it, and it will be so meaningful. And in the absence of all other gift-giving natures that may have left your body, spend time with your friends and your loved ones this holiday season, because no matter how you celebrate, October through January 1st is a special time of year for everyone on the face of this planet. Whether it is the changing of the seasons, Sol Invictus, a religious holiday, or simply that beautiful, beautiful Hallmark classic look of Christmas lights and hot cocoa. You guys, I am so excited to spend my holidays with you. Happy shopping. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this, maybe we'll turn it into a yearly bit. Otherwise, I am so excited to see you this Wednesday for Heroes Feast and this Thursday for the premiere of Tales from the Keep, a cozy D&D cooking show. Until then, be safe out there. We love you guys all. I am so excited to spend the holiday season with you. And we'll see you in the realms. Take care.